Well, are you right? All right. How's it going? I'm Grant, you're you. This is the Doodle Review coming through with a new album to give a spin and chat some fraff about and then assign an arbitrary score to. Today, we're taking a look at the new one from The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. This is the 14th studio album from the classic new wave goth rock post punk legends, and fans have been anticipating it for a long time. The last full length from the group, 413 Dream, arrived all the way back in 2008, and this follow up has been gestating since 2017. So I'm sure if you're a fan, this has felt like a very long 16 years. Before now, I haven't really ever been able to say I'm a fan of The Cure. I've been well aware of their impact, influence, and why so many people love them, but they've never connected for me. This album really kind of forced me to reckon with why that might be, and I feel like I've finally maybe pinned it down. If I trace back a family tree of the artists that I've really connected with over the years, I've gotten about as close to The Cure as you can get without getting into The Cure. Whether it's artists that influenced them, like David Bowie, one of my favorites, their peers like Bauhaus, Killing Joke, Joy Division, and Depeche Mode, or artists influenced by them, like Nine Inch Nails, Deftones, My Bloody Valentine, Ride, Beach House. I've kind of soaked up so much music that in some way contains a little bit of The Cure's identity that whenever I've gone to listen to them properly, it just doesn't feel that revelatory to me. And add to that, I struggle a little bit with Robert Smith's voice, their occasionally dated production aesthetic on the newer stuff, and their teenage earnestness, despite, being pretty up there in age. It's just never done much for me, to be honest with you. The second track on this record, And Nothing Is Forever, probably epitomizes everything I just said there. This is a piano driven ballad with these soaring strings that honestly sound like the score to a terrible Hallmark movie, or in the UK, like a Channel 5 afternoon film. However, since starting this channel of reviews, I've made it my mission to really give every record a fair shot, and that's at minimum 5 or 6 full listens all the way through. And in the case of Songs of a Lost World, because I've taken a little break from reviews recently, it's probably been way over 10, 12, or even more, as I both listened to it in the minimum amount when it came out and then a bunch more times to kind of refamiliarize myself the kind of few weeks later as I came to write this. So with all that said about, my immediate reservations about the record, the time spent with it has actually allowed me to get a lot closer to getting The Cure. One component that really struck me was the bass. Before this record, as only, the most casual of listeners to the band, I'd never realized just how much the bass was an important part of the sound, specifically the interplay between Smith's baritone Fender 6, which is a kind of sonic stepping stone between the treble of the standard electric guitar and a standard bass, the interplay between that and Simon Gallup's actual bass. It's really cool, and between them they create this really grainy but kind of phased bass tone, which is killer. I really like how this tone juxtaposes against the delicate and ethereal strings and piano. A great example of this would be on A Fragile Thing and I Can Never Say Goodbye. It provides this kind of earthy darkness to the otherwise dreamlike compositions. Drone, No Drone, about midway through, is a track where this dark, scratchy, phasey bass tone is combined with wah pedals and a more upbeat rhythm to produce one of the most aggressive cuts here. And it's a welcome shift in pace, and to me recalls artists like Killing Joke. And as a new, dare I say it, maybe fan of The Cure, I'd be really interested to hear what more in their catalogue they have that kind of sounds a little bit more in this region. The record concludes with the atmospheric and brooding end song, where the stinging lead guitar provides this really nice kind of looping coda to the dark, grinding groove underneath. This does, however, represent one of my struggles with the album, the length. In the instance of End Song, the 10-minute runtime kind of works, but elsewhere on this record, I really feel like the elongated arrangements just aren't necessary. The incredibly long intros and outros just make Songs of a Lost World really kind of prevent it from catching a wave and catching momentum, for me at least. all in all, this record's definitely gotten me a bit wiser to understanding why the Cure as revered as they are. And I've always figured, by the way, I was in the wrong with my opinion there. I just never found a way in until now. I love a lot of the production, especially the guitars, but I do find some of the earnest strings, particularly on, And Nothing Is Forever, just not to my taste. And the super long arrangements kind of bog things down a little. I'm going to give this a 6.1 and knock it on the head. And that is obviously just what I think. And I've been very clear about my feelings towards The Cure. So by all means, argue me in the comments. Check the description for some related reviews that you might be interested in. And if you can be asked to do all of that, just subscribe. May as well. Stick around, share some thoughts, show some love, or just, wholesome abuse in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, mate. Mind how you go. Take care then.